My name is Malachi. Uh, my name is Malachi LaForce from Technology for Tomorrow, and I will be teaching you about digital safety with online shopping. Before we dive in, I wanted to talk to you all about Technology for Tomorrow. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization based in Williston, Vermont, with a mission to empower people in need with technology education. We have a firm belief that digital literacy is crucial in today's society, and we want to make sure that anyone and everyone has access to digital literacy, security, and privacy classes, and want to make our communities more tight-knit and stronger. And my name is Malachi LaForce. To introduce myself a little bit so you get to know me more, I graduated from Champlain College for production management. And in my life, I have always been a mentor of sorts. I've helped to teach a lot of people over the course of my life, such as my grandparents, my 9 younger siblings, and my 20 younger cousins, and many young children at the Boys and Girls Club in Vermont. When I heard about Technology for Tomorrow, the message really resonated with me. So, as a part of my first step in my career, I've joined Technology for Tomorrow to create a brighter future. And I want to say a thank you to CVOEO, the Vermont Financial, and then also the Burlington grant, which allows us to use this to provide this class. Thank you. Uh, Before we fully dive into the subject matter, I want to talk about how this class is formatted. I will be presenting for a little bit using this slide deck. Then I'll stop to answer some questions for about 5 to 10 minutes. At the end of class, we'll reserve the last 15 minutes for a survey to send out to you all. And if you cannot fill it out today, CVOEO, Sophia, or Rachel will reach out to you with that survey link just once more to make sure that it is filled out. With all that said, we'll hop right in. So we're going to be covering safe online shopping today. We're going to talk about some pros and cons when using safe online shopping. Well, while safely online shopping. Some shopping essentials that you'll need if you are going to be shopping online, some reputable sellers, a little about Amazon, some reviews and ratings, payment information, ordering groceries online safely, and then some tips and tricks overall to help you get started with your online shopping this special season as we enter December. So, what is online shopping? Purchasing products on the internet, simply put, is online shopping. You can buy clothes, household items, flights, computers. The purchase of an object or an item or a service online would be considered online shopping. Some pros and cons. For the pros, there are a lot more options available than just locally. You can always go to local stores, but you can access thousands upon thousands of websites. It's also easy to compare prices and products. You can find a article of clothing on a seller's store, such as Amazon, and you can compare prices, and you can always try to find the image online to see if someone else is selling it for potentially even cheaper. You can shop at any time and you never have to worry about it. It will always come to your home. Now, some downsides to this are that you can't try it on. You can't hold it in your hands, which means if you are buying a laptop, for example, or perhaps a dress, you will not be able to try it on or see if it fits beforehand, or you won't be able to eyeball it if you're buying for a younger child this season. You can't use cash, so you will need a credit card or a digital service such as PayPal or Venmo, and you will have to wait for delivery. Amazon offers a 2-day delivery if you sign up with their Amazon Prime. but some places can potentially wait for 2 to 3 weeks, which is why starting to shop online now is your best bet, especially for Christmas if you do celebrate Christmas. You do have to pay for shipping costs, which can increase the amount that you're paying for. And then you will have to return things through the mail. You won't be able to fully return things to a location if you did not buy them from a location, which takes a little bit longer to get your cash back if something does go wrong. Some
That is why
essential,
I try to shop in stores because it's a lot easier.
yes, there are some definite cons, but we'll be talking about how to safely do it. Um, but I do agree with you that sometimes it is best to, especially for clothes, majorly. But some essentials for your online shopping, you will need a type of computer, tablet, or smartphone, something that can access a web browser, internet connection, again, a credit card or PayPal, a digital payment service, and then you will need an email address or a phone number for tracking confirmations, receipts, and tracking numbers. Tracking numbers are very important. You should receive one once your package is shipped out. You should always ask via email if they send it out and you do not receive one. It is always best to ask for where it is because you can always see where your package is and where it is along the shipping route to see when it is coming in. Now let's dive into safe online shopping. Verified sites, verified websites have enhanced security. What you're going to be looking for is in a web browser at the top, um, kind of up, if you're on a computer, up at the top where the URL is, you're going to look at where it says HTTP. All websites are normally HTTP, but those who have the enhanced security have an S in HTTPS. It stands for security, and it means that it is an official site, it is the correct site, so you can't simply be anything. If you go to exactly this URL, it will always be Amazon. The S stands for security. Always look for that. And if you should always look for a lock as well. If it's HTTPS and that lock isn't showing up, there could be something weird with it. Look for a lock and an HTTPS when in a URL when you are shopping online. You can also buy their shop online on a phone through their applications. If you are going to be shopping online through their applications, make sure that it is made by the company. When you see an application, you may see a um, logo, the title, and then underneath in the small gray font, who made it. Always make sure it is the company that owns that branch and not some random person. And the last one is you should always utilize a PayPal or a virtual credit card number for more privacy. What this allows you to do is hide your credit card number from many different retailers who could potentially sell your information. And if you do ever feel weird, PayPal is always a better option to go with, majorly because your credit card information isn't being leaked. Your PayPal information being leaked is still bad, but it's not as bad as your credit card or debit card being leaked. Some reputable sellers are Best Buy, Walmart, Macy's, and Target. They all have physical locations, so if you ever have an issue, you can stop in to see a physical location and have someone walk you through a process of returns or anything like that. But there are some also online only. Amazon, Etsy, Wayfair, Zappos, and Fresh Direct. Amazon is your kind of go-to. I can buy anything from Amazon. Etsy is a lot of homemade items, and anyone can be putting items on there. You could make your own Etsy page and sell your own items. Now, it's always good to note that if you are looking for perhaps Pokemon stuff, um, Etsy will not have officially branded items for Pokemon or Nike. They all are, again, homemade. There is no major retailer on Etsy, so do not look there for that. But if you are looking for some homemade goods, Etsy is always a great place to go. Wayfair is for some really good furniture more often than not. Zappos is a nice shoe store that has often the best deals, scanning a lot of different shoe sites for you to get you the best deal. And freshdirect.com is for groceries in case you are looking to purchase groceries online. I'm going to stop here and allow for some questions to come through.
So, have you ever used Fresh Direct? Like, I've not even heard of that. I've heard of like Instacart and DoorDash and stuff like that.
I personally haven't used FreshDirect, but it is something one of my bosses recommended. We'll be talking a little bit more about some of the other options that I know about a little later on.
Okay.
Are there any other questions? I'm not seeing any, so I'm going to just start going through. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Amazon. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Amazon, but if you haven't, Amazon is one of the largest online retailers. It sells everything from food to books to clothing to even dinosaur pieces. There's very random things on Amazon. If you are looking for quite genuinely anything, I'm sure you can find some sort of something on it if you are given a kind of general notion from someone you are buying a gift for. It has very quick shipping if you sign up for Amazon Prime. Again, it is 2 days, and it would be free if you are a part of Amazon Prime, which is about a $15 subscription per month. If you are purchasing a lot of things through Amazon, or perhaps you are interested in their video services, I do recommend Amazon Prime, especially for the winter season. You can always cancel it. It's a good thing to purchase just to get everything in fast, and you can easily return anything through Amazon. Oftentimes, them telling you to keep it, and they'll send you a new one that has what you need. Now, products are sold by Amazon and also private businesses. When you're on Amazon, you may see a icon that says Amazon, Amazon Choice or Amazon's Choice. They are really helpful to tell you that Amazon is recommending this product. Now, sometimes they are doing that just to get rid of a product, but that choice tells you that there is some level of quality to it. So it's always good to look for those marks. If it's not sold by Amazon and instead a private business, you can always see the retailer, and Amazon has to approve them as a private business to sell on their web store, which makes it really reliable and a good choice for this season of shopping. And often, but not always, has the lowest prices available for a product. And again, one of the benefits of online shopping is that if you are unsure if this is the lowest price, you can look it up online and see if you can find anything similar or exactly like it for a lower price somewhere else. Now, the reviews and rating systems are on most all reputable sellers. They allow this to happen, especially on Amazon, so that you can see if the product is good by all means. You can evaluate sellers and products through this. Look for products that have 3.5 stars or higher. I recommend nothing lower than a 4-star. Reviews can leave comments, pictures, and videos. And I highly recommend when you are doing your shopping trips online this semester, not semester, this year. Um, I highly recommend that you look at 5-star ratings and 1-star ratings. This allows you to see the absolute best this product has been and the absolute worst this product has been. And it allows you to see a lot of the more glaring issues with a product and if the features are working on a 5-star. If the features are working, you'll be all set. And the 1-stars are really good to review again to see if what is breaking. I have a back pillow for myself on my chair, majorly because I have back issues. When I was looking through them, I often looked at 1-star reviews, and a lot of them said that they would flatten almost after a week of usage, and they weren't good. Using the 1-star review system and the 5-star review, looking at both of them is really good, especially online. Now, something that you trust a seller to do, and something that if you are going to leave a review or a rating for someone, they should always charge you the amount that you agreed to. They delivered the product that they promised, and they kept your card number and other personal information that you had to give safe. If they do not fulfill these, I always recommend leaving a review. And if they do fulfill everything and more, always leave a review for other people so that they know, what am I getting into here? Is this a good product? By coming together as a community and filling out reviews and ratings, we can make sure that bad products can be thrown out and no one gets scammed. Now, payment and information. The information that is needed from these websites, these are often the most standard things. If they are asking for anything more than this, be careful. They should not be asking for much more than this information. They will ask you for a credit card, which has a lot of laws, but they can be very harsh and take a lot of time if your credit card information gets out. PayPal, or a gift card. If you only have access to cash, you can always go out to a local store, such as a Walmart or a Target or a pharmacy, and look for a Visa gift card. This allows you to put a certain balance on it, about $100 or $250, and it allows you to use that money to buy things online in case you do not have access to any of the other options. Now, the information they're going to be looking for is your name, which should be your first and last name, perhaps your middle initial, but that should be all they need from your name. They'll need a billing address and a shipping address. Your billing address will often be what you use for your credit card or where they're going to deliver a bill to or receipt to. Now, your shipping address may be different. A lot of places will say, should this be the same, or have a check mark for it? If it's the same, go ahead and check it. If it's not, fill it out as needed. Now, for your credit card, they're going to need the credit card number, which is 16 digits, expiration dates, and CVV, which is the 3-digit code on the back of the card. The last things they may need are an email address and a phone number to deliver a digital receipt to, or to get in contact with you in case something goes wrong with your order, or to update you when it has arrived. This is all the information that they need from you. If they ask for your social security number, if they ask for your child's birthday, if they ask for any information that's not related to you, the purchaser, or a little too much from you, always avoid those retailers and sellers. They should not be asking for that information. Get away from it as fast as possible. So, ordering groceries online. Here are the two that I've personally had interactions with, which are Amazon Fresh and Instacart. Now, Amazon Fresh, as I talked about, needs that Amazon Prime member. It is $14.99 plus tax. However, you can order online for home delivery. There are some physical locations depending on your city. However, they often reach out and branch out to a lot of different local grocery stores, and someone can simply, by putting what you want, they'll go out to grocery stores, grab it, and get you free same-day delivery. If you do end up using things like Instacart and don't want to pay a lot more for that delivery fee, you can use Amazon Fresh, which should help out a lot. Now, the other option is Instacart. It has select items from many different stores similar to Amazon Fresh. They have a lot of personal shoppers, and they buy them and deliver them to your doorstep. The delivery costs is shown when you are checking out, and there is an annual subscription available to help you out. If you are using Amazon Prime already, I would highly recommend using Amazon Fresh. But if you're not using Amazon and you don't really care for Amazon's products, Instacart may be the way to go for you. Let's talk a little bit about some tips and tricks for this season. So the first, always buy from a seller you trust. If you have bought from a place multiple times online, there's nothing wrong with continuing to buy from them. If they have never done anything wrong with your information, always just buy from a seller that you trust and you know. It's always best to do that. And never buy through unsolicited emails. This is a type of scam which is for phishing. They will have you look at a fake newsletter of some kind, having promising deals, and you may click on it, which will then start the process for you to lose information on your computer. They will take perhaps your name, they can do identity theft, they can take your credit card information, depending on your own security practices and protocols. All that through just opening an email and clicking on a deal. Do not buy through unsolicited emails. If you have never bought from someone, do not trust the emails that are coming through. Always purchase through the website and do not click on emails that promise deals unless you absolutely are sure you know where it came from. I recommend using a credit card. PayPal has gone through a little bit of weirdness, but I also recommend the gift card idea. You can buy gift cards with a credit card or a debit card. That can really split up. If you ever lose information, you will lose the information of the gift card rather than your own credit card, which is really good. You never have to worry about your information being stolen in that way, but it can be a little tedious to do going out to buy a $100 gift card from Visa every time you want to purchase something online. Never give unnecessary personal information out. And you should always, always double check your shipping costs. There are some times where they will say the shipping is this, and right at the end, without informing you, it'll be updated to $10 compared to $2. If that does happen, always double check all of the costs. That's why it's a really good habit to get into. Always check what the receipt is going to look like before clicking that purchase button. There are some companies and sellers that will try to sneak in extra fees right at the end to take a little bit extra cash from you. Always keep a record of your purchases. I recommend having a printed version and saving all the emails, perhaps archiving them. If you do it online, always make sure to keep track of these purchases in case something goes wrong. By having those receipts, you can prove that you did pay for them. This is the amount that you paid for them. And if you want a refund, you can prove that that's the money you lost. This is the money I want back. And as we talked a little bit about earlier, always look for a lock and the HTTPS. If they do not have them, they are not a reputable seller. They are not good. They could possibly sell your information because they are not secure. Are there any questions? Doesn't sound like there's any questions so far.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
I just pulled it up on my phone just to see what comes up, but what about like sites that aren't like okay, so like Temu, for example, or Temu, however you said it, right? Where does that rank in safety?
Let me check real quick. I can.
Well,
Honestly, I've used the app and I love it.
I've used it too, and I'm not going to say I love it, but I typically get what I order. But as far as I know, it's not an American app. So, oh, it does have the S though. It has the S.
It does have an S. It also has the connection is secure lock. So it is pretty safe. The only thing that this is a different type of scam with Temu now, or Temu. It is good at times, but sometimes they may.
Gosh, just close your mouth.
There are sometimes where it says, for example, I'm looking over here and it says there is a pack of camouflage hoodie, camouflage like masks. Now, I am unsure because of the image if it's 1 or 5. There are some times where they say it's one piece and you get 20, or inverted. If it's a 20 piece and they're all really bad quality, you don't really want them.
No, yeah, it's totally a chance you take with Temu. Like everything's super cheap, so sometimes you order something, or like I notice I get my kid toys off there sometimes, and like you'll order it and it'll be like the size of your thumb. Like one time I got one of those little projector things, like when we were kids that had the little discs that you could like shine on the wall.
Yeah.
And the one I got him was like the size of my index finger. There's like a mini one.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Wish is what it reminds me of.
Yeah, exactly. It's Wick for Amazon. It's the Wick for
Yeah.
One of the best ways that I've seen people use Temu isn't actually for purchasing for themselves. It's for becoming an Amazon seller. You can buy the very cheap items off of Temu and then properly label them and put them on Amazon for like a little bit more since they're properly labeled and they know what they're getting. And then you'll get a lot of people buying them for a little bit more expensive, but that expense comes to you and you get a little bit of cash on the side.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It is a little bit of work, but it's a good side gig.
It is, but with toddlers and a baby and you don't get time to yourself to even go pee, I don't think I could do it.
Hey, that's fair. But yeah, are there any other questions so far?
Nope.
Nope, not hearing any. All right. Well, since this is about the end of the slide deck, so we're going to jump off the edge because these are a lot of the tips and how to find the security for safely online shopping. I'm going to open it up for any discussion or.
Is it just me or am I the only one that can't hear him? It sounds like breaking up.
Hello?
I can hear you fine.
It's all
Okay.
right on my end as well.
Sometimes
I
if
can
you
hear-
log out and come back in, we can look for you in the chat if you want to try that.
All right, I'll put down into the chat for Carrie that she may want to leave. Um,
I think I might be able to hear you now.
hello, hello. How
I
does it
can,
sound now?
sorry.
Perfect.
I can
There
hear
you
you
go.
now.
Perfect. Not a problem. All right.
Well,
So
I definitely didn't know that about the the security thing. That's good to know. I've really honestly had pretty good luck. But okay, I'm not gonna be able to talk because this kid won't stop screaming. But I ordered like last Father's Day, I ordered off this site, and it was my fault because I'm usually pretty smart, but he like sent me a link. He sent me a link in like a Facebook message, like, hey, I want this, right? And not looking into it, I just clicked on the link and bought it from the site that he like found it on. Tried to buy it. And anyway, I ordered this, like, it was like a bench, right? Like a gardening bench. He's an old man, right? He wants to sit down and garden, I guess. I don't know. It was like $40 or something. And it had these little tool pouches on the side, right? So literally like a month later, and I like tracked this thing all the way from like China to Germany to like, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. So like long after Father's Day, I get a tool bag. Like it looked like one of those pencil bags, like when we were kids, they used to get at Walmart, the cloth pencil bags. And I'm like, I fought it. I went to my bank. And the worst part about it was like, I emailed customer service and they started off, they were like, we can offer you $2.88 in compensation. And then they kept going up. They got all the way up to $7 they were going to give me back for this thing I spent $40 on. And finally, I was like, this is bullshit, dude. Like, just give me, they wouldn't give me the instructions to return it. I was like, just tell me how to return it and refund my money. And they would not give me instructions to return it. And so I took it to my bank and whatever, and just disputed the charges, which they gave me the money back, but it was a mess. Well, they gave me the money back, and then I got a letter that it was still my fault because I okayed the payment and they were going to take it, but they never took the money back. But it was ridiculous. I went on. It was like a big deal. I went on and on with this good guy for like 2 months. I'm like, no, literally, like, what are you talking about? Just give me the address. And he's like, okay, I offer you $5.22 back. I'm like, no, I spent $40 on this thing. Like,
yeah, so that is a type of scam where the reason why they had it bouncing around everywhere is because the longer that it stays in transit, the longer they get away from that purchase. They're honestly hoping that you forget, and then when you receive the item, you'll look at it and go, oh, I guess I must have ordered it, and never really question it. It's a really, really bad thing to be a part of. And I do feel the frustrations. My mom has gone through a lot of that. Imagine with 10 children to take care of.
yeah, that's crazy. No, I'm usually really careful, and that's the only thing like that. And I like from now I really only order from I pretty much only order from Amazon or Temu. I do order from that site more than I should, but anything I buy from there is something that I'm not necessarily like banking my hopes on, you know. Like I've ordered like a huge pack of sponges from there and like child safety locks and like any like toys for my kid. But even my mom actually told me to be careful on sites like that because like China has different regulations on their toys and like the paints they use and the small parts and stuff, and they don't have the same like federal guidelines, you know, to make sure that certain toys are safe for kids under a certain age when you buy them from out of country website. So that's another thing to keep in mind, you know, if you are ordering from a site that seems cheap like that, you know, they don't go through the same FDA, like that. Well, it's not FDA because it's not food, but the same regulations. There are regulations on like what they could sell to kids.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Like Rachel was saying in the chat, it is such a great point. Always understanding where the retailer is based in. If you don't know where something's coming from, always check their local government to see what guidelines they actually have to follow. Um, I will go back to the Temu point a little bit and say that because I see that Cheyenne, I hope that I'm saying that right, Cheyenne is Temu
You said it right.
has okay. Temu has really had really bad privacy notices and they were under a scandal of selling information to other companies, Chinese companies specifically, and that information most likely got led to your aunt being hacked. There is sometimes scandals. And another great point to bring up, if you are always concerned with a retailer, look up their name and look up lawsuit alongside of it. This will allow you to see if there are any ongoing lawsuits for a company for privacy issues, for any issues. They'll always be the top answers. You can always see past issues they may have had with like breaking the law. It's a really good idea to do that. Thank you, Ashley and Cheyenne, for bringing both of those up.
That's why I only use like one card for like Temu. Like I only put the cash in just to use it. Like, and it's not like an actual bank. So go ahead, hack my shit, because that's all it's for. Because like, and I make sure, like, just like my regular bank card, I'll use for other stuff. But for Temu, I use one card for that specific site in case. To play safe.
I think it's easy to say, like, for like me and stuff, like, okay, whatever, I'm broke anyway. But I mean, certain things, like, you'd be surprised. I don't know. I'm not like somebody that, like, I'm not on the generation that's like, oh my God, be careful what you put on the internet. But like today, like nowadays, honestly, like even if you put like pictures of your kid on Facebook, and let's say you're doing that, and then you give this site, they've got your first name, your last name, your home address, your email address, your phone number, your kid's picture, your picture. The only thing they're missing is your social security number, and they can be you. You know what I mean? So it's still pretty risky. But
So
I'm not saying I don't do it. I still do it, but
so I heard something with an iPhone thing. I don't know if it's true or not. Like, if you get, like, I guess if you download the new iOS 17 or whatever, it is, they can get every information where you live and everything just by being close with phone to phone.
Let me look up what I can find on the iOS 17 privacy issues.
I'm pretty sure I have a Samsung A11, so that's not a worry of mine.
Me either. I got an Android.
Brand new cell phone. But...
So this is they'll start to diving into privacy policies. I recommend always looking at a privacy policy for any company you go through that you're going to be providing any of your personal information for, especially social medias, but that's not this class. To get back onto the track of online shopping specifically, I highly recommend a website called Mercari.com. Now, Mercari is kind of similar to the Facebook Marketplace, but is more properly regulated. It will allow people to post perhaps like lots and other things that they're just trying to get rid of, and they'll assign it a price. A lot of people will undervalue a lot of their items on Mercari, such as a table or honestly, my mom uses it a lot for toys for the little children, majorly because you can buy like Littlest Pet Shop lots, which are like $100 for 80 different LPS of 20 different sets, and it's just someone trying to like garage sale get rid of everything that they used to have. Exactly. Carrie is also saying that you can send offers for them as well and kind of try to negotiate or haggle a little bit on the price. But yeah, I do recommend Mercari if you are looking for great deals.
Yeah, Facebook Marketplace is not something I recommend as far as getting stuff unless it's local. Nothing, even apartment searching. It's like 9 times out of 10 when you contact the person, they don't even get back to you. Where a lot of people get back to you, I've had a lot of this happen on Facebook where you see an amazing apartment and it's amazing price, and like the first thing I notice in the text message is they're not speaking proper English. They'll be like, oh, thank you so much, like, thank you, Ashley, message me back I need your email and phone number. And I'm just like, what? No, you don't. And then, one time it was an apartment where I'm like, oh, you own this building? I was like, I know the person that owns this building. So I don't know. I found a lot of that on Facebook, and I don't even get anything off there unless it's like a local gifting page. Like in my town, there's a gifting page, but
Yeah, for sure. Facebook Marketplace is a very, I would say, scandal heavy area in online shopping because you don't really know who you're talking to, and catfishing is always an issue. Plus, Facebook Marketplace is always a buy as is. You are not going to get any great refunds or anything like that, and they can always just delete their profile and leave. So it's a very risky thing to be buying anything from the Facebook Marketplace currently until the company Meta fixes a lot of the issues with it. So I would, as Ashley is kind of going towards as well, do not go for Facebook Marketplace purchases unless you know the person selling them. Are there any other topics or discussion points that anyone wants to talk about a little bit for safe online shopping that I can help with? All right. Not hearing too much, so I'm going to talk a little bit on my own experience and potentially some fraudulent things you may see for digital shopping. Now, I talked a little bit about the emails. The emails, never ever click an email that's promising a deal or anything like that. Even by opening the email, it can be very dangerous for your information if your information is stored on that device. It gives them access to that device potentially if they do it in the right way. And by doing that, it can get really out of hand. Now, there is another scam that has been a little more prominent recently, and it is very, very terrifying. I won't get into it. I won't get into the details of the instance that this happened, but there will be people that are looking at your accounts to see if you are buying from Amazon, from Walmart, from Target. They will call you afterwards to have a conversation with you about the product, or they will essentially impersonate and act like someone from a company that you just bought from. If someone tries to have a phone call with you or reach out to you in any way, shape, or form after purchasing online, I would not answer it. Now, normally they will reach out to you through email or text. They do not have the time to send a representative to talk to you. This scam, what they do here is that they will record your voice, and using a little bit of artificial intelligence, they will create a small kind of vocalization of you. And now they're going to use the voice, a fake voice of yours, to go and scam potentially someone close to you. They can use it in many different ways, shapes, and forms. You may, if you're on a lot of social medias, you may have heard people making AI versions of popular characters such as Squidward, SpongeBob, other popular television characters. They can do that with people, real people, and just being able to access your voice allows them to do a lot of different scams. So to kind of reiterate, if someone calls you from a place and says that they're a representative from those companies, do not answer them. Do not even talk to them at all. If they say, hello, is this blank? I'm from Amazon, just hang up. Do not talk to them because what they're looking for is your voice. to scam potentially people nearby. There have been instances of this in recent years. It's a very horrifying experience to go through. So always try to avoid talking with quote unquote representatives from online only retailers or just an online purchase. Are there any questions on that at all? Ashley, I saw you on mute. Did you want to say anything, or is your microphone not working?
No, that's weird. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I have a question. It's not exactly related to that, but I don't know if you can even know what, but recently I'm like, I can't even think of anything where I like I don't sign up for dumb stuff or whatever, but I was getting like a slew of text messages. A couple of them said the US Postal Service was not able to deliver your package. Click this link, and the link is always like a mix of numbers or a mix of letters. And I keep getting a number. It's like UPS or the US Postal Package or something like that, but like I have not ordered anything. And so I just delete the text and click block the number, but they kept coming with like different numbers. And then the other one that they were sending me, hold on, I'm trying to think. Oh, the other one was like if you're still interested in receiving this, it was either like this charitable donation or you know, this prize money. It wasn't like, it didn't say prize, you know, this is money used for your assistance or something. It was just weird. It was like I never signed up for any of this. I never did this. Like my number wouldn't, like, I don't know. But I always tell, because it always says, gives me a link, and it's always like HTKJP and then / whatever. That's not like a real site. So I always just hit block the number. But I was just like super surprised because I just kept getting these text messages from different numbers.
So that is a common scam. Never click the links. You're doing the right thing. Block them. And if they keep coming back, just keep blocking them. It is a little bit of a nuisance. What's happening is that somehow the same scam artist has gotten access to your number, your phone number. This can be through a lot of different things, potentially one of the more recent Facebook breaches. Anywhere your number has been posted, they may have grabbed it from, especially if you've put them on social media. Then all they have to do is just keep changing the number in the background and keep sending you the same messages over and over and over and over again. It's a really annoying thing because you can never find who it is, and you can never really stop doing it, but just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job with blocking it, and never try to text them. If you are getting concerned with potentially having something at the postal service office, my best recommendation is to look up your closest USPS office, look up their proper phone number, call them, look for an agent to talk to. And when you talk to them, ask, hey, I'm getting these texts that say I have a package. I want to confirm if I do have a package. My name is blank, blank, and blank. The address the address would normally be this, but that may not be it. They can then look through their own database and see if there is a package for you. And if there's not, then this is just purely a scam and they're just causing you problems.
Yeah, I kind of assumed it was just a scam, and it has stopped now for a little while, but I'm like, I know I'm not that forgetful, and I don't order stuff that much. I don't have that much money to spend on online shopping, so I know there's no package waiting for me at the post office. But yeah, I know I can reach out to them and call. It's also like usually the post office wouldn't typically text me. They'd leave like a note on the door or something, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know if the post office ever texting me.
Yeah, post offices should never text you unless you sign up for a what do you call it? Notifications through text. And normally they'll be from that's actually a good point. Normally any tracking numbers will be through a 5-digit number code. This is because it's an extension of their normal offers numbers. It should normally be a 5-digit code, or it simply just says a name and there should be no number attached. If there is a number attached, it is fake. That is a good point to make. I can thank you for that. Are there any other discussions or topics that I can possibly touch on referring to shopping that I can help out with now that I've talked a little bit about both of those? I'm not hearing anything. So I'm going to look through a little bit of another course that we have and make sure that I can get you some good information for the last 15 minutes of this class. So yeah, this is actually a little good. Before we continue on and I begin to talk a little bit about internet privacy and some things you may want to do regarding a lot of these companies, whether you're going to be buying from, I want to do a little thing to say thank you for your time, and also thank you to Flat Icon. You may have seen a couple of icons appear. They allow me to use their icons as long as I tell in my presentations that I am using them and they are from their website. So thank you, Flat Icon. Now, internet privacy, instead of just security issues, there are privacy issues going on in, say, online shopping. When you are putting your card information into places, you are hoping and trusting that these sellers are keeping them secure, but you also want to make sure that they're keeping it private. Now, through your credit card, they may recognize your name and they can sell your information by saying, hey, this person bought Beyblades, or they bought Littlest Pet Shops, or they bought these Pokemon figurines, or they bought some Monster High dolls. They can then take your information. If you did not read their privacy policy, they'll just enable these automatically, and they can sell that data to other retailers. You may notice advertisements popping up when you are searching through the website, through any website really, that are recommending more Monster High dolls, Beyblades, Pokemon, Littlest Pet Shops. Anything that you just bought is now getting recommended to you in advertisements. This is because of their privacy policies. By you purchasing items, they now know you like that item, or you are at least interested in items similar to that. Selling your information to many different companies that also tailor or make those items, and then they're going to then begin to target you with more and more ads. If you see a lot of ads for specific things, perhaps a Fitbit or something like that, you most likely potentially have looked at something similar online or purchased something similar online, and now they're just going to keep loading you up with those advertisements. This is a breach of your privacy, not necessarily your security, and it can get a little annoying. Now, to prevent these advertisers and people and companies from tracking you, you should always read privacy policies, and you should always look at your settings for your accounts if you do make an account on a website. Always review a company's privacy policy to see what they're going to be doing with your information. If they have a really bad privacy policy and or even worse, no privacy policy at all, I would not buy from them. Your information is being used by companies above to try and get you to spend even more money, which is really annoying. So always try to change your settings and try to give a little check mark or remove check marks in the back end, depending on whatever retailer or social media you're even using, so that they can't sell your information. You can always do this to your browser as well. Your browser is tracking information and looking at things you may be looking at online for online shopping. I recommend using a search engine that has something that isn't necessarily, how would you say, well, it has a better privacy policy. Google does not have a great privacy policy, for instance. Google, whenever you Google something, it's taking note that you looked that up and then selling that information to other people. And then they're going to put more and more ads for those things to take money from those people and hopefully to take money from you so you'll purchase something. Some examples of great search engines to use. You may note that I'm streaming and you see my browser here is a little different. I use the Brave browser and the Brave search engine. So if I just type in Brave here, mine looks a little different. Brave is all about security. They have a great privacy policy. They have an installed VPN, which means I can essentially change my location data whenever I want. So people can't track that if they are trying to track me. And it has built-in ad blockers. All of these are just things that Brave is recommending, but they're not recommending it to me based on my location. They're not recommending it to me based on anything because they do not pay for my information. This allows a lot of safety for me and knows that I'm not being tracked. And since all the ads are being blocked, my privacy is very much safe on Brave. I want to go out and say that I am not sponsored, by the way, by Brave at all. We're not paid by Brave by any means, but I really highly recommend Brave for your safety and your privacy, especially. It has a search engine and it has a browser. I use both. Now, other common search engines that are tracking you just when you're online shopping include Bing, Yahoo, and Google. The big ones are very much leaning on the fact that people know them well to sell your information, which isn't helpful at all, but it is what they are doing. And it's good to take note of. So I do recommend looking for search engines that are really good for privacy, which include, for example, I just said Brave, DuckDuckGo is a really good one, and Ecosia is a really good one. Ecosia, every time you search about 100 times, they're taking the ad revenue from what you've been searching up, and they're a nonprofit, and they take that money and put it towards paying for trees, which is really helpful for the ecosystem. And DuckDuckGo is just a very good privacy search engine. For example, if I go DuckDuckGo.com, this is privacy simplified. It's really helpful. It's a separate search engine, and then Ecosia right here, better planet with every search, and then trees planted by the community, as you can see right here. They are all very good. They have very good privacy policies, and they are a lot better for your security and safety. Are there any questions on that at all? Not hearing anything so far. All right, so there is about 25 minutes left of the class. So I'm going to, I don't want to talk too much about other options, and I can't really think of too much else to cover for this. So I'm going to go ahead and put Rachel and Sophia, unless you have any ideas as well, for what anything I can cover. I'm going to go ahead and put the survey link in and call it for right now. Does that sound good?
Sounds great, Malachi. Thanks.
Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And then